Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 10th and final episode of Manaria Friends. Yes, sad to say, but this is the last episode. It kind of sucks that this is not only a short form show, but also just reduced episode number as well. That's kind of an unfortunate combination there for a show that is one of the more enjoyable shows of the season, but that's how things go sometimes. But yeah, last episode, our main couple had a fight. They made up. Somebody didn't know they had made up and had this glorious, inspiring speech to try to help things. But yeah, it was already dealt with, so don't worry about it, Hana. I enjoyed the speech nonetheless. So yeah, let's just get into it. 3, 2, 1, play. Break, yeah. So a letter, a love letter. Yeah, I mean not everyone probably. You know, not to imply that I want you to stay here with me or anything. Not very much at all. This is the last episode. It's pretty sad, I know. She's handing the love letter. Of course, somebody interrupts it. You were interrupting the love letter giving, sir. That is not okay. Yeah, okay. It's probably more like an invitation to something. More likely than a love letter, but because a love letter would have a heart sticker instead of like that seal. But the pair's promise. Yeah, so Greya definitely staying. Anna, I guess not. I hope she does too. You know, I bet the things you would complain about the Moses being separated from Gray, I just feel that I have. I assume she was referring to something in the letter that we haven't read yet. Hopefully it's not bad news, because I feel like it's bad news. Yeah, don't break anything. Oh, careful. Don't hit me with a giant box. uh, wait for her. Yeah, Greya just looks just sad. Who now? Oh, teacher. At least not a giant box. I mean, she's not leaving, so no. Everybody else is leaving. Cool. You could only really be so Genki when your girlfriend's leaving and the show's ending. And I really doubt this will ever get a season 2, so. Could you hurry up a little bit? Just, yeah, wander around the library. I was just gonna run into Anne at first, but no, those are just random students. Fortunately. So, you know, more of just Greya being alone because we didn't get enough of that last episode. You're not Anne. Who even are you? You're nobody important. I'm unhappy with the separation from Gray and Anne in this episode. I wanted to get as much interaction between them as I could before the show was over. It's just not happening. But you know, the scenery is as nice as always. And can we talk? Possibly do more than talk? Has she still not looked at the letter yet, or is she even in there? Or is she gone already? Don't be gone already, please. Okay, yeah, I don't think she's here. Why? Why must you do this to me, show? We're supposed to get at least one sleepover scene together. But so far, it doesn't look like that's gonna be happening. Is it at least warm? Does it at least have some man warmth in it? I can't tell if that was a yes or a no. Don't interrupt, we're trying to be sad over here. Oh, there's Anne. Oh, don't worry me like that. Thought you were gone. Yeah, it's not like there's the end of the show or something. Man, she looks adorable there. No, we haven't. She needs to get on that. Open the envelope, Greya. Seriously, we're running out of time. She's smiling, so it's good news then, right? Oh, okay. That's what I was hoping for once we got into the empty room bit. Well, we're gonna have more time together now. Well, I mean, you might be able to pull that off. You should at least try. Yes, we are. uh, yes, yes. That does sound great, doesn't it? I think so too. Uh, yes, I mean, the answer to that, it's obvious. Yes, this is the best idea, the best plan. I knew you were a smart girl, Anne. I mean, I was honestly thinking that this was going in a direction of her, like, transferring to a different school or whatever, so this really was a pleasant surprise. She'll definitely see Greya sleeping now. Uh, don't avoid that anymore. But yeah, we're still separating for a bit, though. I mean, that's still a thing, I guess. Well, it's all. Only thing she's forgetting is you. You're the one that's one thing that she should bring along, but can't. I mean, it looks enough like a marriage certificate for me. It's a nice pen. Oh wow, that really is beautiful. So I guess the uniform is a little bit different for different year students, I think, is what the reasoning for the red, blue, and green, I guess. Yes, Lou. Well, whatever your name is. I guess. She's a great teacher. Our usual spot here. Yeah, just wait for Anne to show up. Unfortunately, we're so close to the end here. You're not Anne. Tea discussions. This is truly an upper class school. It's great to hear. I assume they're referring to the room thing. You know, if they have time. Rules like no getting each other pregnant. uh, the pen. Greya, that face. I wish somebody would look at me with that face. My own Greya, but so Anne, you can show up, anytime now. Right on cue. And yeah, that tail went up alright. Here we go. Yes. We're not gonna show her. Yeah, okay. Why? Why does this have to be over? Oh, wow. See you again sometime. That better be a sort of confirmation of a season 2. That's a great end card, though. Really pressing against each other there. Yeah, sure. You do that. Good work, Owen, I guess. Off with the dress. We got things to do. We've got a girlfriend to get back to. Yeah, quick is relative. Yeah, leave while you can, Anne. Oh no, we've missed our chance. So many maids. She's indecent. Do not come in. Oh wow, we have an escape route. That's great. Of course, royalty have one of those. Does it lead straight to the school? Just crawled on in there. Yes, I agree. The things you can experience here are very important. uh, okay, so still on our way there. Wow. That is so cool, just secret passageways. Wow. Okay. Guess that works. Yeah, a little bit dirty now. I have to take a bath when you get back to the school. Preferably with Greya. Ooh. Wow, man. Jesus. Not very subtle, but yeah, I approve. Yeah, she is waiting. We're all waiting. And that's the end of this storybook. For now. And credits roll. Yeah, credits roll. Okay. Yeah, well, that was the 10th episode of Manaria Friends. You know, going into this episode, I already, had more or less come to terms with the fact that this is not the kind of show that would ever get a season 2. So I'd kind of accepted that for the most part. But then the show did something that completely ruined that. Because then they brought up the idea of them now sharing a room. So now I have this vision in my head of all these wonderful things that they could be doing together, some of which Anne brought up there in that discussion. So now I actually do really, really, really want a second season, and I'm going to be pretty salty if it doesn't happen. Especially because that ending card there, it was far from any sort of confirmation. But still, it was just enough of a tease for me to have a little bit of hope in a potential season 2. And I want one. I want one, and I need to have one. Just how it goes. But anyway, yeah, this episode. We had Gray and Anne interacting, and then there was like I keep calling it a letter, but it's not really a letter, I guess. I mean, it is, because usually letters are like, sent in some capacity, like left in a locker or mailed or whatever, where she just kind of handed it to her, I think. And they were called an envelope anyway, so probably should just call it that. Not that it matters. The point is, he gave it to her, and it was really up in the air exactly what that was about for a while, because Anne just kind of gave it to her and left. And the main topic of the episode was the fact that break was starting up, people were going to leave, some people were going to stay, Anne was one of the people that were going to leave because she's royalty, has all these responsibilities, and Gray has stayed, even though she's also sort of royalty, but I guess she doesn't have the same sort of responsibilities. I guess. I don't know. We don't really know much about her dragon princess royal country family situation. I don't think we know very much about that, really. So I don't know, they might be quite a bit different than Anne's, but they are both princesses. They did remind us of that fact in this episode. But yeah, once we got to the scene where Hana made some sort of comment like, "What? She didn't tell you?" I actually started to think about the worst. I was thinking, "What is Anne like not coming back? Is she just gonna transfer schools?" That's kind of, I was like 70% sure that that's where that was going. So I was pretty worried after that whole thing. Because that sort of thing happens in anime, quite often. Somebody is going to transfer schools for whatever reason, and their love interest will say, "No, I object, you can't do this, I'll fight against this," that sort of thing. So I thought maybe it was going in that direction, but I was wrong, and I'm pretty glad to be wrong on that one. But yeah, we had plenty of Greya wandering around the school, a little bit sad. At least a couple instances of her eyes, doing that little listening thing, getting a bit watery. And yeah, a couple of those shots of Greya, man, when she was like borderline pouty, they're just some top tier adorableness stuff. But yeah, things definitely took a turn for the better once they ran like into each other. We had that scene where she went to her room and she was empty, and that's when I was definitely starting to get even more worried. I was like, is she already gone? Is she like, is the letter supposed to say something like, "I'm never coming back again, we're never going to see each other again, sorry about that, I love you, goodbye," and then, but I can't tell you in person because it would be too sad, and she already left as soon as possible to avoid an awkward goodbye. Like, that's kind of what I was thinking was happening there, and I think the writers were kind of going for that, considering some of the stuff those two said when they met up with each other. But yeah, they eventually found each other. She was not gone, so that was a bit of a surprise. Like, oh, Anne's still here. Okay, false alarm. Because it was a little bit weird to have Anne still here when the room was so empty and vacated. So I did kind of like 50 to 60% figure out that they were about to share a room from that bit. And yeah, then they confirmed it when they actually read the letter. So that was pretty excited. Because usually in these sort of type of shows, whenever something happens, I try to take it in the best possible interpretation, I can. And the best interpretation of Anne leaving her room would be to move into Greya's room. But usually shows don't completely match my wishful thinking, so I wasn't really like completely, expecting that to happen. Because I'm usually expecting, oh yeah, this would be nice if the show did that, and then the show doesn't do that, so the fact that the show actually did what I thought would be the best thing of that scenario was a bit of a surprise, and a very pleasant surprise at that. And yeah, this scene was great. Yeah, this scene was one of the best of the of the show, I would say. Because, you know, one thing that's been kind of built up for in the show for a while is this idea that Greya and, you know, and Greya, I mean, Greya doesn't want Anne to see her sleeping. It was something like that, you know, and they kept teasing this idea of a sleepover or whatever. And looks like Anne decided to force the issue a bit by just moving on into her room, you know, because there's no avoiding it at that point. And just watching Anne just go off on all this stuff, like, you know, you were worried about us having able to spend so much time together, and this will maximize our time spent together. We'll be able to do all these amazing things, you know, wake up together, walk to school together, you know, all those other she was saying. That was just getting me so excited. And this is what really hurt me as far as, you know, the end of the show goes. I was like, no, I need this stuff. The show can't already be over. Anne is explaining all these great things. I needed to see them animated. I need to see them actually happen. You can't tease me like this show. That's pretty much kind of what I was thinking there. Well, not thinking it right in the moment, more like afterwards. In the moment, I was just thinking, yeah, that's amazing. That's some great stuff you're saying there, Anne. I approve 100%. And yeah, I got pretty into that scene, to say the least. It was pretty good. Definitely pretty great. Like everything about it, really. But yeah, I mean, that was really the episode. We saw some stuff with the proposal was accepted. Hannah talked about, hey, we're gonna have to go over some rules with, you know, sharing a room. And of course, when she said that, what I immediately thought of is like, you know, no doing lewd things behind doors, you two. That's probably not what she was referring to, but that is definitely the first thing that popped into my mind, like without a doubt, because that's me for you. Oh yeah, I love her tail just like shot up when Anne showed up. That's good, good. And then we get to see a bit of, you know, Anne's situation, her royal family duties and stuff, and just trying to leave before she's, you know, forced to talk to Your Highness too much, because he does it forever. Yeah, that would lead to a scene of, well, Anne escaped, and then she had Greya's, like, shedded skin and just, like, smelling it and enjoying its aroma and all that, so, yeah, I'm glad we had one nice, fun little land scene there before the show was over. I enjoyed that for sure. So yeah, definitely a good episode. I think my only real complaint is that we had this sort of Greya wandering around sad because of Anne sort of thing that we had kind of last episode. So I kind of wish, you know, we didn't have so much like redundancy with that, you know. But that's probably my only real complaint with the episode. Yeah. And of course, that if we never get a season 2, then it's gonna hurt a lot worse because of that whole room sharing thing. Like, I want to believe that they wouldn't do that unless they had a, you know, at least intentions of making a second season. You know, preferably a full length one. That'd be great. But you know, I don't want to get my hopes up too much because that's how you become sad. But that's what I want. So my thoughts on this show as a whole. This show I almost didn't watch initially because I never watched Shingeki no Bahamut, so I was like, oh, this is a spinoff or something. I wouldn't know any of the characters. It probably wouldn't be appeal to me. And then people, you know, mentioned, hey, you'd probably like this show. It's got some pretty, you know, it's pretty Yuri leaning, you know. And I was like, but you know, it's part of this whole Shingeki no Bahamut thing, right? It's like, it doesn't matter, dude. Just watch the thing. It's like, fine, I'll watch the thing. Sheesh, who cares if I don't really have room for it in my schedule, my recording schedule? I guess I'll watch it, and then I watch. It's like, yeah, this is good stuff. I'm gonna continue watching it. That's pretty much how it went, you know. And I'm very much glad that I decided to watch it because it would have been a real shame to have missed a show that was this enjoyable, you know. Our two main girls, Anne and Greya, I do love them both quite a bit to the point where I went back and forth a lot on who I liked better. Because, you know, just Anne had some great scenes, Greya had some great scenes. Just, I think the highlight of Anne for me was probably just the library episode, you know, when she was just acting so silly, you know, the hide and go seek episode, I think they played hide and go seek in the library, because Anne was looking for Greya, right? Yeah, because Greya floated down at the end. But yeah, Anne was just being great that episode, and obviously we had great interactions between them in the swimming episode as well, the one where it was Greya teaching Anne to swim, right? I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because Anne kept, like, you know, stalling for time and stuff and flirting with her instead of actually trying to learn how to swim. That was a good episode too. That was a great episode. But yeah, just both those characters, I enjoy them a lot individually. I enjoy them a lot together because I enjoy Yuri. So there's no reason why I wouldn't enjoy pretty much all those interactions. The only disappointment about their interactions would probably be the fact that we never got an actual kiss between them, or sleeping together scene, or the slippery slamming game of Twister. I would have taken that too. That'd be great. Or some mud wrestling. That would be acceptable as well. But no, we did get some good stuff though here and there for sure. Nice pianos playing scenes and stuff like that. But yeah, those characters were definitely a highlight. Most of the other characters in the show I could take or leave, really. The only other character I really cared about in any capacity besides them was probably Hana. She was a pretty cool character. And Lu, whatever her name is. I mean, she was a funny little character when she showed up, but she just didn't show up very often, and, so I didn't really have much chance to get attached to her. Miranda, I did like her a lot, even though again didn't have a lot of screen time. But her cosplay shenanigans, she was good. But those are really the only characters worth mentioning. The show really focuses on Anne and Gray and their relationship. That is the real meat of the show, and I think it does that pretty well. The show technically had a little bit of action and fighting, technically, but that's never what the show's been about. It's just been about their relationship and their school life together, pretty much. And I thought the show did a pretty good job of that, really. I don't have any real complaints in that regard. But yeah, there's obviously not a lot to the show aside from that. So there's not really a lot to talk about in any sort of overall show discussion, I guess. But I enjoyed it for sure. See, I'm just gonna sit here for a second and think if there's anything else I really want to talk about with this show. I mean, yeah, because the nature of the show, there's really just not much to really unpack with it. I mean, the scenery, the art, that was always great. That was always one of the best things about it. Some of the scenery we saw in various shots were just breathtaking. That was definitely one of the highlights of it as well. It's and we get to see that because we do have like scenes of Rhea wandering around, looking for Anne, or just wandering around being sad, or both, of course. And the show also had a little bit of comedy, here and there as well. Like I remember Anne's epic adventure to deal with the whole Greya shedding thing. That was fun. That was a fun little episode there. And the whole school being under attack was just like a drill the whole time, which was kind of funny. That was my least favorite episode, just because we didn't really have much of our Yuri fun time with that one, but it's still funny, that whole thing. It was still interesting little idea for an episode, so I didn't hate it or anything like that. But I wonder if I could skim through some individual episodes real quick to kind of remind myself on something to talk about. Yeah, the Shaden episode was interesting though. We had some pretty interesting bits of Gray in that bed. We'll just say that. You could be misunderstanding what was going on there for sure. Yeah, episode 3 was the date episode, the cosplay episode. The boat thing was nice, definitely. Okay, what was episode 4? I think episode 4 was the one where Anne was feeling lonely and she had that great line on the piano about it. Let's see, what was episode 5? I think that was a drill episode when we attacked the golem and stuff. It was cool seeing Anne use magic and stuff, even though she wasn't supposed to. But when Greya's in trouble, you gotta expect that. Yeah, 6. 6 was the swimming episode, and that was definitely one of the highlights of the show. Those swimsuits were on point. The area, I really forgot how beautiful that area was that they were in when they were practicing. That was just a really great location. And the water, just the swimsuits were definitely on point for sure. Even a little bit of fireworks in that one. But yeah, 7 was the library one. Some of those great Anne faces were really, there was something alright. So yeah, 8 was a play, you know, which was that was fine too. I just would have liked a bit more, you know, Gray and Anne in the play episode. But nah. It was mostly backstage stuff, a little bit of Anna singing. But yeah, I think that's really all I had to say on this show. It was good. I can't really think of too many complaints about the show, aside from, of course, the length of it. And I would have liked the relationship to progress a little bit further than it did. And a second season could theoretically solve that problem. And that would be really appreciated, I would say. Definitely. But yeah, I've kind of stalled long enough. The show is over now, you know. No amount of me talking about it will stop it from ending. It's over. It's over. I'm hoping for a season 2, you know, just let me know how many Blu-rays I gotta buy to make that happen. And yeah. It's over. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.